All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft with CryinMo. How you guys doing? Here we are in the barn that we just built last episode. I just love it so much. I really am enjoying this whole area out here now. As you saw at the close of the last episode, I kind of did a couple of shots with the shaders on. I was experimenting here with some street lamps. Normally I was doing the 2 or 3 high design, but then I realized, yeah, when you ride around on a horse, you're 3 high. So I thought maybe they need to be 4 high. And of course, this is not going to protect anything from spawning. I mean, that's going to be a light level 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then 10, 9, 8. So like literally this area right here, we'd have to put another one every 6 blocks. There'd have to be another one. I don't think we're going to do quite that many lamps. So this is not going to be a secure area, just because, well, we're not going to hang out here too long. We are going to build a few more things out here. But I was, I kind of finished this pathway around here. I was going to lay some more street lamps down here. And then I thought, man, I was, just kind of digging the idea of just doing some sort of laid back building out here. A little bit of sprucing up. And I realized walking around here that the village here, this village is rather, it's not small. This is not a small little village. I kept thinking it was just these couple buildings right here. Like this. Look at this. We got a whole other main street down here. We've got an outlying couple of houses down that way. And there's actually more houses way over there. Look how many farms they've got set up. 1, 2, 3. Got this back to back. Another one over here. 4, 5. 5 sets of farms. 6, 7. Wow. I mean, this is a large village. Going through the village here, let's see at night, the orange maybe doesn't match as well as... I didn't really consider it because there's no orange in the actual village construction itself. What, you guys can't get up there? Oh, man. Put your stairs back for you. Sorry. Move. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Alright, let's take a nap so these guys will be safe. But yeah, the orange, maybe it doesn't work so well up in here with the village. So I either have to work more orange into the village itself, or perhaps substitute oak or something else instead of the acacia fence posts for those lamps. Come on, keep everybody safe and sound. And this is my little temporary cactus farm here. Oh, I love it. I love the raining cactus, the raining cacti. I was doing the spruce trees here, and I realized that, we always go to birch, to stay green in the desert and the savanna biomes. And I realized that today that spruce leaves also stay green. In fact, they're greener. And in fact, in some ways, they almost look more like, they're more dense a little bit. Well, it's hard to tell. They have smaller leaf swatches than the birch, of course, but they almost kind of look more like hedges than the birch leaves do. But I thought mixing them up here, that looks kind of cool. I was just playing around. Everything is just sort of playing around and checking things out to see what they look like. We're breeding these horses, right? And I'm breeding mules and, donkeys and stuff. And I'm trying to measure, like, well, these are fast, but they don't jump very high. And these over here these are guys that jump really high, but they're not super fast. And these guys seem to be fast and jump really high all around. Got a new mule here named her Bellatrix. And we have Jonathan Strange over here. And these guys seem relatively fast for mules. So check this out. I mean, Bellatrix here, she gets along, right? For a horse that carries for a mule that's carrying a pack, carrying a chest. I think that's pretty rad. She seems pretty quick, but that's the whole thing. How quick is she in comparison to Jonathan Strange over there? And how fast are these guys compared to each other? And how high can these guys jump compared to each other? And I realize there's no way to measure this stuff, and I wish, I had a little racetrack or something, but something that would automate measuring it. And so I came up with a very simple design. I'm sure I could have looked up tons of ways to do it, but I thought, I'll build this one all on my own, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, so I got a little bit done here. Laid in some pathways here and cleared out some of this area. Nothing lines up exactly right, but I didn't want to alter the existing farms necessarily, so I kind of wanted to let these all stay natural and sort of build around them and around the village itself. So that's sort of the motif going here. And now you might be wondering what this is, but of course you can tell what it is. It's a racetrack. That's correct. Although, of course, like I said, can't race until I put this on Minecraft Realms or something like that. But for now, it'll be our time track, which is just going to tell us how fast a horse is, and then we can compare that to other horses and we can see which ones are faster than which other ones. It's a pretty simple redstone mechanic that we're going to use to do that. The other thing is the jump meter, basically, right? So the jump meter is obviously going to be tall, and it's going to be like probably, well, if we set the base down here, it's going to be 6 or 7 blocks tall, and so it will cut off view of the village a little bit, which I guess will be okay. I mean, it might be a big thing standing right here. Maybe if we don't want to obscure the skyline or the view, maybe we drop it down. Maybe we make a hollowed out area that we travel down into with the horse, and then we can do our jump test there. The real crux of this whole build here is the timer itself. And it's not a timer like a hopper clock or anything. Like I said, it's a stopwatch, and it's very rudimentary. So the way it's going to work is that when you run, if you click one side or the other, it will unlock the hoppers. And then when you click it again, it will lock the hoppers. Now, pressure plates obviously work like buttons, insofar as when you walk on them, they send a signal, but when you step off of them, they turn off. We need to turn that pulse into a steady signal, and we do that with a T flip-flop. All right, so I did say that we would chat about reading materials this episode. So I do read, I read books, and I read comics, graphic novels, things like that. I used to be into comics a lot. I read several genres. I read some science fiction or fantasy types, or Game of Thrones. I've read the Game of Thrones books several times, and I read some young adults fiction, I guess. There's a few authors that I enjoy. One of my favorite authors is William Gibson, who's a science fiction writer. He coined the term cyberspace, actually. He was one of the first writers in the cyberpunk genre. He's pretty rad. Some of his ideas are pretty fantastic. Now, this is a closed loop. This dropper will send an item into this dropper. This dropper will send an item up into this dropper. This dropper will kick an item into this hopper, which will let the item drop back down. The only one it'll move in when it's not powered or anything is it'll move through this hopper. But all the droppers, it has to be powered in order for it to move anywhere. One of the comics I was going to talk about is a comic I think that works really well for both kids and for adults. And the comic is Bone by Jeff Smith. And it's such a fun, just awesome comic book, just classic adventure. It's got some comedy. It's great for kids, and I think it works really well for adults, and I love it. And yeah, if you guys haven't heard of it, check it out. Called Bone, I think Bone. I think you can find it in probably any Barnes & Noble or regular bookstore, or even comic shops. You know, you can find graphic novels. You can find the Great Big Omnibus, which is colored. The original comics were done in black and white. They actually did a really nice job with the coloring. It's very subtle and smooth color. It's nice, not overwhelming, almost pastel-like in color. But yeah, anyway, it's very fun, very lighthearted, but it definitely has some scary things, you know, for the kids and for the adults. It's got some things that are pretty interesting in it. And yeah, it's sort of a fantasy, a regular sword and sorcery type comic with a dragon, but the dragon doesn't look like a classic dragon. He looks sort of like, almost like one of the dragons or the things from like that big flying dog creature from The Never-Ending Story, which I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but that's a great movie too. Any of you guys have seen that, or The Dark Crystal, those kinds of stories, those are pretty awesome as well. Bone itself is not necessarily like The Never-Ending Story. That's not really a good equivalent, nor is The Dark Crystal. They'd be on the same bookshelf, and that's maybe in the fantasy genre. But yeah, but anyway, Bone is cool. It's got the three main characters are very cartoony, but the rest of the world that they're in is more real, like what we would expect with human characters and everything. So there we go. A couple more recommendations for you guys. William Gibson for science fiction, cyberpunk, and Bone for graphic novels and comic books. If any of you guys are familiar with Bone or with William Gibson, yeah, let me know in the comments. I like to chat about them. And you guys can tell me what if there's something you guys like to read or have any suggestions for me, you know? Like I said, I do like fantasy, and there's a fantasy author named Joe Abercrombie, but I'll talk about him in another episode. I think he's fantastic. Very cool. So this is the rest area, the rest state, which means when we want to do a test, this is the state it needs to be in. That torch over there needs to be on so that it's locking that hopper with that block right there. And I'm going to build us up a little arm that has a lamp on it, so we'll know when it's in the correct state. And then when we take the horse and we run across the plate, it turns that off and it starts to drain items from up there. Items start to drain, and of course when we get to the end, when we run over those plates, it reverts it and locks that hopper. So basically what we're doing is we're measuring the horse time in item flow. Both of these hoppers are locked right now, so if I put items in here, items cannot flow. No flow, no flow, no flow. But the reason we're bringing this torch tower up, and that is to build in our sort of signal. If this light is off, we'll know, hey man, we got to come over here. We got to reset it. We got to step on that plate again to change the lock, you know, change the state of this D flip-flop. As you can see, that turns off and we know that it's running, the timer's running, and then we run back over it, turns back on. Here we go. So now everything is set up here. Let's go grab a horse. And oh, let's make our little pathway here first so we can, once we come up here, we can wrap it around. There we go. And this is apparently the winner's circle right here, I guess is what we've sort of made inadvertently, since we have our Optifine turned on with our grass block edges, our grass block sides. All right, here we go. So as an example, we're going to run this guy. We know it's fast. Ready? Oh, it didn't turn off. Why didn't it turn off? That's kind of weird. Okay, let's try that again. Does a horse maybe not hit every block when it runs? If that's the case, we can lay another row. Wait a minute, what is happening? Oh, yeah, okay, this is what's happening. You're just seeing CryinMo in action. I didn't hook those up to redstone, so that would be the problem there, right? Okay. Operator error. Come here, buddy. Okay, here we go. Ready and launch. And off it goes. I have no idea if that worked or not. 10? That took 10, huh? Let's try that one more time and see. Here we go. This horse is so fast I can't even see it turn the things off. 10. Alright, let's try it one more time. 3 times is a charm, right? And giddy up. Oh, I just saw the light go off on that one. I just wanted to see the light turn off on that one at least once. 10 items. Alright, so 3 times we ran, we did 10 items. So let's grab, for the sake of really showing an extreme example of difference, let's take one of our mules that I think is normal size. Ready? Normal speed. There we go. Pretty significantly different here, right? Here we go. What do we got? 14. Wow, that's so. That means when we get to the fast horses, this whole thing is really not going to be that telling as far as the difference between the animals. Maybe we need to make it, you know, farther. The run should be farther. 14. 14 2 times in a row. Let's try Bellatrix. She seemed to be pretty quick. She's got a good jump on her too. Ready? Here we go. So down we go down the track. And around we go to measure. This is so goofy, right? I don't know. 11. Wow. Right? I'm surprised. Bellatrix is much closer to our fast horse, but she's not that fast. I mean, that white horse seemed way faster than this, right? But I guess she's significantly faster than that donkey we rode. Yep, 11. Wow. Wow, this one seems awesome. Let's try this. Here we go, running through. I think he's going to be 10, just like the white one. 8. Wow. 8. Well, he's much faster than the white one, right? I knew he felt a little faster, but I didn't know it was that fast. Let's see, let's see. Wow, this is pretty cool, right? To see the differences. 9 on that one. Okay, so there's a little variation on things. Let me go, ready, and run it. 8, though. That was an impressive run, going 8. But there might be differences in lag and telling things. There's 8 again. Oh, I like that number 8. Don't you guys like that number 8? Just because it's significantly different from 10, right? And let's see one more time. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, I like this horse. It's like being on a roller coaster. Awesome. So this guy deserves a name tag, right? How about this guy? He's also labeled in the awesomes. Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right, here we go. Boom. He's not as fast as the spotted one. Not as fast. 9. Well, I could feel it, right? You guys could feel it too, right? He's not quite as fast as the spotted one, I don't think. But let's do it again. Square on 3 times each time. Make sure we get an accurate, at least as accurate as we can get in a computer game with lag and everything. Well, he's faster than the all-white horse, I guess. We'll do one more just to be safe. Go, buddy. Take it away. All right. There we go. And 9. So this is pretty interesting. I'm actually pretty surprised. Just at the level of, well, it's pretty cool. So now we know that the 8 is apparently the fastest so far. I should put up a signpost right here so we could keep track. Do I have signposts? I should bring a book. That's what I need, is a written book. But this is all we got right now. So spotted runner. He's actually called spotted or dappled. Brown is 9. White is a 10, and Bellatrix was 11. So obviously the difference between Bellatrix and our spotted horse, that's a significant difference. That's the same as the regular donkey is compared to Bellatrix herself. So this was a pretty interesting experiment. I'm pretty glad that this is set up and we can sort of test our animals as they go. So now I know that obviously we should be breeding the spotted guy for sure. And we'll have to name them all and bring a written book out here that we can keep track of everybody with notes. But anyway, guys, I wanted to thank you for hanging out, and I really enjoy our time together. I love showing off the stuff that we do here, and I really enjoy the support you guys show. Pretty cool. I don't know why I'm so jazzed. It's kind of cool just to see like real world results when you do these measurements, and we're actually measuring things, and the fact that they're so significant in difference, that I think it was pretty fun. Everyone have a great day. This is CryinMo saying goodbye, sayonara, be zen, take care. See you guys later. Bye-bye.